In this video, I will be discussing two types of sorting algorithm, the selection sort and the merge sort. I will use a sample code to demonstrate the selection sort algorithm. To begin, we will enter 5 unsorted elements into an array. We will use a for loop to scan the array and get the first position in the list. The first element in our example is 2, which is at index 0. We will use another for loop to scan the list and find any elements that are less than 2. Since there are no elements that are less than 2 in our current array, 2 is the smallest element in the array. So then, we proceed to the second position in the list, which is index 1. In index 1 is element 3. Then we scan the array to the right again and look for the for element that is less than 3, since there is none. We proceed to index 2, which is 8. Then scan the elements to its right to look for element that is less than 8. The last element in the array is 5. 5 is less than 8. Then we swap the position of 5 and 8. To do that, we first initialize variable index to the current value of j, which is 4. It is the current index of element 5. Then pass the value of our index to int smaller number. Since variable index is now 4, so the current value of our index is 5. So int smaller number is equals to 5. Then we pass the value of ri, which is currently 8, to our index. Then pass the value of smaller number, which is 5, to ri. This will make 5 and 8 to swap position. Then we proceed to index 3, which is 9. We scan the elements to its right and test if it's less than 9. Then since 8 is less than 9, then we proceed to swap the position of element 9 and 8. We initialize variable index to the current value of j, which is 4. This is the current index of 8. Then we pass the value of our index to int smaller number. Since the variable index is now 4, so the current value of our index 8. So int smaller number is now equals to 8. Then we pass the value of ri, which is currently 9, to our index. Then pass the value of smaller number, which is 8, to ri. This will make 8 and 9 swap position. Then if you output the array we inputed, it will now be 2, 3, 5, 8, 9. It is now sorted from lowest to highest. Then sorting elements using merge sort. To do a merge sort, first we divide the array into equal half and then combines them in sorted manner. In the output of our code, we enter 5 unsorted elements in the array. We need to divide it to equal half. To do this, we created a merge sort method. In here, we created int l and initialized it to our length. Then, since we only enter 5 elements, so int l is equal 5. Then we test first is less than 2. This means it will test if there is only one element in the array, and if yes, it will directly return. Then we created int mid and initialized it to L divided by 2, then since we only 5 elements, our int mids is equals to 2. Then we created an array for left side and right side. We initialized the size of left array to mid. So left array will have a size of 2 since our mid is 2. Then we initialize the size of right arrays to L to mid. Since our L5, we subtract our mid which is 2, so it means our array will have the size of 3. Then we need to put elements in left array. To do this, we use a for loop. In here, I is initialized to 0. This means we will start at index 0, then test if I is less than mid. It is true since our mid is 2. Then we pass the value of Ri to left I. The element in our index 0 which is 2. So elements 2 will be passed to array left index 0. We increment I by 1 each iteration. Until the condition I less than mid is false, we continue the iteration of this for loop. So our array left will have the elements 2 and 3 because when I is incremented to, the condition is less than mid is false because I with a value of 2 will now be equals to mid, which also have a value of 2. Then we do the same process to put elements in the right array. But the difference is we initialize I to value of 2, so it will start at the index 2. Then as long as our I is less than L, which is 5, this for loop will continue the iteration. If condition is true, we will pass the value of Ri. I is 2, so it will pass the element in the index 2 of the main array, which is 5. To array right I mid, I subtract by mid. The current value of I 2, if we subtract it by mid which is also 2, it will become 0, so it means that the current value of Ri, which is 5, will be passed to the right index 0. After putting the remaining elements to array right. So now we have left array that contains the left half of the original array and right array that contains the right half of the original array. Then we need to merge sort these two arrays. To do this, we need to recursively call it with our left and right array. Then we need to put the merge left and right array to it inserted. Then left and right array. Then inside this method, we created int left size and initialized it to length of left array which is 2. And int right size and initialize it to the length of right array which is 3. Then we need to create 3 variables for iteration, which is I, j, and k, and initialize it all to 0. I is the iterator for left, j for right, and k for merging the array. Then we created a while loop. Then the condition for this loop is I less than left size and j less than right size. This means if any of these a conditional statement is false, it will stop the loop. Inside this while loop, we compare if left I to right j. If left I is less than right j, pass the value of left I to Rk, which is the main array. Then we increment I by 1 to look at the next element in the left array. But if left I is greater than right j, we pass the value of right j to Rk, then increment j by 1 to look at the next element in the right array. Then to set I set the next index in the main array, we increment k by 1. This will continue until the conditional statement of this while loop is false. Then we can add the remaining elements in either left or right array to the main array using these two while loop, while I less than left side and while j less than right size. Then we only need to call the merge method to our merge sort method, then give it r left and right. Then call the merge sort method in the main method.